Hello, this is Angela Gower-Johnson from Ultimate Dream Project. So welcome to step 4, the trauma eliminator. So, wow, this one is a really interesting one because how do you define trauma? And how do you define drama? So, what I'd love for you to get from this video is some sort of acknowledgement of where you do trauma and drama. And it could be that it shows up in your family or your friends around you as opposed to you having it personally in your life. So just be aware of that. And my main question to you would be, what has been your reward from doing trauma? And what was the benefit in childhood from having an upset? So just allow those questions to sort of percolate in your unconscious mind, in your subconscious, as I talk about trauma and drama. So I'd like to share where I got this concept from. It was actually from Dane Here from Access Consciousness. And he asked me to run the question, what do I love about trauma and drama? So the question is, what do I love about trauma and drama? So before I embraced this process, my life was absolutely traumatic. Like I would live my life from one upset to another. And I know that that's really extreme and possibly not very relatable, but I'm a little bit of an extremist. So if you get to know me, you'll know that I'm really black and white at times. And I also love ambiguity and vagueness. So that's very interesting. But I was addicted to trauma and drama. It was a way that allowed me to be seen by my family, not the family that I had and married into, but the family that I chose to be born into. So my maternal side is all trauma and drama. My mother's Greek. Everything's really super dramatic and exaggerated and intense and emotion filled. And my reward from doing the trauma and drama was that I could be seen. Peace was not something that part of my family could recognize. And I had to weigh out whether I wanted to continue to be seen, or was I willing to be absolutely invisible to my family? So the way I came to this, and I ask you to come to your own awareness, to come to your own acknowledgement, to just run the question, what do I love about trauma and drama? So it took a baby kitten to fall out of a window in my house for me to run that process. I wasn't willing to embrace it before that. I wasn't even willing to embrace that I loved trauma before that. There was absolutely no acknowledgement. But what happened was my cat had kittens, and this little baby kitten was playing, well, I was playing with it and all the other kittens, and it was on the window sill, which was quite, well, it was on like the mantle of the window. I'm not quite sure what it's called. Anyway, it was like a shelf, and the window's quite high up, and the kitten was really, really tiny, but somehow it got up on the window ledge and then fell out. And we were on, my bedroom's on the second story, and it was just really badly injured. So on the way to the vet, I had the kitten in my lap and I was running energy processes on it. And it came to me about this concept of, what do I love about trauma and drama? And for the first time, I was able to embrace it. And what I'd like to ask you is to embrace this process without something extreme like that happening. By the way, the kitten was absolutely fine. I ended up renaming the kitten on the way to the vet because it just seemed right at the time. I wanted to give it a more powerful name, and I can't remember what its name was, but I renamed it Thunder. And he did make it. He did survive. It was a miracle. But he also gave me the amazing gift of acknowledging just how much I had been using trauma and drama as a way of living my life. And by running this process, and also by running the Who Does This Belong To Return to Sender with Consciousness attached, and another process that I hope to share with you at some point in time, I was able to turn my life around. I was able to eliminate around 98% of the trauma and drama that I was doing. I went from a life of pain and suffering to a life of only being able to hold a level of upset for 5 minutes at a time, whereas before I could only hold on to peace, like pure absolute bliss and peace for 5 minutes at a time. So you literally just ask the question, what do I love about trauma and drama? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of shamanic breathing with you and go into the energy of this a little bit more. And I'll use the access clearing statement, which is right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And that just acts like a hoover that hoovers up anything that comes up, any energy that comes up, any block that comes up, any limitation. But I'd like you to be able to, on a deeper level, tap into what the reward has been for you to have trauma. And just by acknowledging that there has been a reward, and just by being aware of what that reward is, it'll give you the freedom to choose something differently. And as I said, I don't know anyone that I've worked with that has experienced the level of trauma and drama that I have. Totally extreme. But there are levels of trauma. For instance, I'm thinking about a client of mine who had tension with her supervisor. Well, there's a couple of clients that I've had that have been in corporate that have had issues with their immediate managers or supervisors, the people that they had to report to. To me, that's a level of trauma. When there's any sort of unease, if there's any sort of anything that's the opposite of bliss or peace, then to me, that's trauma. And you don't need that. You don't need that stress. Anything that causes stress is a level of trauma and drama. And what if you could eliminate all of that and just live a life that's full of peaceful, joyful, rewarding, successful experiences? Another way I've seen clients do trauma is by feeling stuck, by hitting this barrier of not being able to, get to the 10K a month income or past that 10K a month income. That's been, a really big thing where, they get stuck in this income band, and, no matter what they do, if they surpass it, something happens to come in and they lose that money. And I see that time and time again. And that, again, is a form of trauma. So I teach them this process. They embrace it. And then they're able to shift that so that they can change that relationship with their immediate supervisor, or they can change their relationship with money and get past that barrier and be able to earn more and not have something happen that comes in and stops them from that. So let's do the shamanic breathing, and I will just run the question for you. And I'd like you to just go deep and let your unconscious mind percolate and bring up whatever has been your reward for doing the trauma that you've been doing. And again, that could be really, really tiny trauma. And I really hope that it is. But it can be bigger as well. So starting with breathing in through the mouth. And holding it. And exhaling slowly through the nose. Breathing in through the mouth. Holding it. And exhaling slowly through the nose. Breathing in through the mouth. Holding it. And exhaling slowly through the nose. So I'd just like you to take a minute to close your eyes if you haven't already done so. To sit or lie down. To feel the support. Listening to the sound of my voice and allowing my voice to travel with you and to be a source of safety and security. And at any time you can come out quickly, easily, refreshed, better than you were before. Completely capable of dealing with whatever requires your attention. But for now, just focus on the sound of my voice. Allow it to travel with you. I'd like you to imagine a staircase that's going down. It's taking you into your subconscious, your higher self, your inner wisdom, so that with every step down that you take, it can feel like putting your logical mind in the back seat, strapping it in. Having that similar feeling, but with even more awareness and clarity with each step that you take. So maybe near the top of the staircase, it can be a little bit dim, a little bit dark, like the end of the day after the sun's gone down. But I'd like you to start walking down that staircase. And maybe as you step on a step, it illuminates from within. And as you continue to go down, that illumination possibly will get brighter. Things will be clearer. You'll be able to see much more clearly. Taking my voice with you as you go down. And in the back of your mind, allow your unconscious mind to play around with the question, what do I love about trauma and drama? Holding that in the back of your mind as you go down deeper. Taking another step, getting more illumination. The light is shining a little bit brighter from within. Maybe there's already a little feeling of more clarity, more awareness, more knowing. And as you take another step, you see how that step is illuminated just by you stepping on it. That light from within turns on. It might actually trigger an aha moment. As your subconscious mind ponders on the question, what do I love about trauma and drama? What has been your reward of having trauma in your life? What has been the value of it? Going down deeper still and deeper still. Allowing my voice to go with you. But having your focus more on the illumination, on the feeling of clarity, the ability to see more clearly, the level of peace and freedom. An acknowledgement that life can be free of trauma, free of stress, free of fear. And with each step that you take down, you're leaving those things that used to hold you back, that used to be heavy or dark, behind you. They've been replaced by internal illumination. Taking another step down and another. Going deeper into awareness, clarity, acknowledgement. Experiencing deeper levels of peace and illumination. Lightness, so much light. What did you love about trauma and drama? What was that reward? Finding new levels of going down that illuminating staircase of awareness, clarity, acknowledgement, freedom, peace, and so much illumination. Internal illumination. Going down deeper still. And at the deepest levels, I'm going to run the access clearing. What do you love about trauma and drama? Everything that stopped you from acknowledging the love that you had for trauma, drama, destroy and uncreate it all, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, Papa, Shorts, boys, and beyond. Everything that has kept you from choosing something other than trauma and drama, destroying and create it all times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, Papa, Shorts, boys, and beyonds. What would it take to never, ever, ever function from trauma and drama again? Everything that doesn't allow that, destroying and create it all times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, Papa, Shorts, boys, and beyonds. Allow your unconscious mind to run those for as long as it's required to clear everything deep down that has held any trauma and drama in place, so that as you take the next step down, you lock this new state of being in place. There you go. You leave the trauma and drama behind you. You step into more light. And keep going, choosing more and more light, choosing more and more clarity, more aha moments, more intuition, more awareness, total peace, safety, bliss, and security. Embracing that newfound illumination. Going down. Deeper still. Illuminating all the way down. Where there was darkness, there's now light. And in a minute, I'm going to count you back. But for now, I'd like you to embrace that new state of being, that illumination, that clarity, that clearness, the cleanness. Maybe going down even deeper, illuminating even more. Maybe taking those steps even faster so that you're lighting up even more of them and leaving more of the things that didn't work for you behind you, and changing the dark to light. Counting you back. 5. Tonight, as you sleep and dream, doing this 3 times and 3 times more, so that when you wake up to new ability to be illuminated, new clarity, new peace. New ability to experience aha moments time and time again with total ease. 4. Being in alignment with that illumination, embracing that new level of peace and freedom. Maybe even experiencing a level of freshness, of newness, brightness. 3. Every time you do this process, getting more and more from it. Being able to be a master of internal illumination. 2. Already perceiving something different. Allowing your body to let you know that something has shifted and changed for you. And knowing that this is continuing to shift and change. It's only going to get better and better. 1, opening your eyes wide awake, refreshed, illuminated, better than you were before. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Yay! Oh, well done. So thank you so much for you. What I ask is that you go through that energy process a minimum of 6 times. I would prefer that you do it 21 times because I just believe that that will create the optimum change for you. And just sit with the question, what do I love about trauma and drama? And release anything that comes up. Thank you so much for you. I am so looking forward to connecting with you on Facebook and answering your questions in the live Q&A call. You're absolutely amazing. Big bear hugs to you and have an awesome rest of the day. Bye.